What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude, and the most recent CPI inflation report revealed two unsettling things. At least one of them is that the inflation in the US is on the rise once again, and the second one is that the probability of the December rate cuts for some reason for the Feds increased pretty much to 99.9%, which, if you think about it, is the very last thing that you want Feds to do, because if the inflation is increasing, you want to maintain the interest rates high, but for some reason the market expectations are that the December rate cut will happen with almost 100% probability. So in today's short video, let's talk about this most recent report, what is happening, and what can be the potential future. The most recent US inflation CPI report came to us at 2.7%, as expected, 2.7%, but the problem is that the most recent similar report was at 2.6%. So as you can see, the inflation, even though it's only 0.1% increase, but the inflation is on the rise once again. Which is particularly concerning that right now we're in the environment of the Fed pivot, basically meaning that they started cutting the rates. It is also expected that the rate will be cut right now with, for some reason, almost 100% probability in December, which is once again, like I mentioned in the very introduction, the very beginning of this video, is the last thing you want to do. Because interest rates and the inflation, they work in the opposite directions. When the inflation goes high, you need to also increase the interest rates, so these high interest rates potentially bring and make the inflation once again low. And when exactly the opposite things happen, when the inflation starts to become low, or whenever the inflation is non-existent even at this point, which is also pretty much a very bad thing, because you need to have a healthy inflation of about 2%, or simply when you need to restart the economy because it is struggling, you start reducing the interest rates, and whenever you have low interest rates, it increases the inflation. What do we have right now? The inflation already started to go up a little bit, but nevertheless, the fact is the fact. It started to go up. And then we have the interest rates, which are going down, which theoretically, according to the very basic economics 101, is supposed to re-accelerate the inflation within the next several months or potentially couple of quarters. We are already obviously in the month of December, and even though the probability for the rate cut is estimated at this point at approximately 99%, it will still be curious to see if the most recent inflation data changed some mindsets without the Federal Reserve. Let's see if Jerome Powell will keep the rates, if he will decrease them as the market expects, because let's be honest, if the probability of 1% which that the rates will not be touched, if this 1% probability happens, this will definitely, most certainly, make the news headlines. Which, to be honest, is also not going to be a pretty good thing. Whenever everyone expects that Fed to continue cutting the rates, everyone thinks that the economy is doing well. But when they suddenly start cutting the rates, people will start asking questions. Did something go wrong? Wait a second, the inflation is on the rise once again. Didn't we start the pivot just literally a couple of months ago? Why the inflation is going up so soon? These are pretty reasonable questions that will need to be answered. Well, there you have it, guys. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching. See you tomorrow.